Hello, welcome to Fly Mama's Pregnancy Pilates series. We are going to be working today with any pregnant women out there that would like to work on how to move effectively through different positions throughout early stages of labour. So my name is Michelle and I am the co-founder of Fly Mama and a physiotherapist and specialise in women's pelvic health, and I'm also a Pilates instructor. So let's get started. First of all, you need to think about your space. So I've also created a Zen Den video out there for you to watch, which really talks about our 5 senses. But in short, I want you to make sure that you're really comfortable, that you're wearing nice comfortable clothing, that you've maybe got something soft and warm to wrap yourself up in at the end when we're laying on the floor. Make sure you've got some soft pillows and cushions. As you can see, I've set up my cushion ready for the end of the series. But you also might want some other things to prop your legs up onto. So I'm going to use my gym ball. If you've got a gym ball, great. Otherwise you might want a chair or something to lift up. So make sure you're super comfortable. Make sure the lighting is soft. You are creating your cave, ladies. So you are getting ready to birth your baby. So you want to be in your relaxed cave like environment. So really think about soft, calm lighting. If possible, light a lovely candle. Think about the smells around you. If you've got any incense that are safe, or candles or essential oils that are safe to use during pregnancy, get them out. Make sure it smells really divine for you, and have something to drink. Okay, make sure you've got some water or a nice herbal tea. So let's get started. So have a stand up, and we're going to start in standing. I'm going to weave in some affirmations throughout the session, okay? But we are really focusing on getting you moving and feeling really positive about this experience. So have your feet grounded onto the floor and gently move your hips from side to side. So with Fly Mama, we've got some beautiful affirmation cards. And the first one says, my body is perfectly equipped to give birth. Okay, my body is perfectly equipped to give birth. So let's think about that and take our hands onto our hips and gently loosen off from side to side. Throughout this class, we are going to be going in different positions. We're going to be in standing, in 4-point kneeling, we're going to be sitting, and then we're going to be finishing off laying down. Okay, so your body is perfectly equipped to give birth. So let's feel confident with our bodies. Let's move through the movement from side to side. If you have got any beautiful hypnobirthing music to play in the background, or something that really lights you up and makes you feel super relaxed and calm and empowered. Get some gentle circles now all the way around. So let's come into a nice circular hula hoop motion. You're really helping your baby loosen through your lower back, hopefully wiggling down into that birthing position. And then let's go into the opposite direction. Now you might find that there is somewhere that just feels a little bit uncomfortable. So just work on that area that perhaps just doesn't feel quite as right for you. Okay, so really loosen off your hips. Okay, let's roll our shoulders back. Let's loosen off through our necks and our shoulders. Pop your hands onto your tummy. Take a really nice deep breath in. And just repeat to yourself the affirmation, my body is perfectly equipped to give birth. So take a deep breath in, and as you breathe in, fill your hands and your tummy with your breath. And as you breathe out, gently let your baby's bump draw back inside you. Okay, breathe in and let your tummy fill your hands with your breath. Breathe out and let it come back down. Okay, we're going to take our feet slightly wider apart now, and you're just gently going to lunge from side to side. I want you to feel the stretch into your groin as you're gently going from side to side, coming down a little bit lower, really loosening all the way through your groin and back up. If you are feeling any sort of tension in pelvic girdle pain, just to make sure your feet are well grounded. You might want to step your feet a little bit closer together, but I do just want us to feel confident and comfortable, just to make sure that we're not holding any tension throughout our adductors. Okay, bring your feet together again. Let's wiggle our fingers and our ankles and our wrists. Just loosen off any tension through there. My body is perfectly equipped to give birth. Okay, take your arms behind you, just stretch your shoulders. Now it's important not to extend back when you're pregnant because you don't want to stretch an already stretching tummy through here, but you can just gently take your shoulders back to feel a stretch throughout your chest because you can get super tight through the front here. And take a deep breath in and out. Okay, I do strengthening classes as well, and I absolutely encourage you to do some strengthening work during pregnancy. But this one is going to be working a little bit on your strength, but actually is focusing more on mobility, okay? This is really about loosening off, ready for labour. So if you are in labour and you've got the opportunity to have one of those slings that you might see in some of the maternity wards, where you can hold your arms into them, you can perch your bottom, sit and take some of the weight off of your back and your pelvis. It can be a lovely opportunity to do that with those slings. So if you've got one of those in your labour ward, I recommend having a play around, looking on YouTube and trying to find some videos that show you how to use it so you don't go in blind. Okay, so we're going to imagine now that we are kind of on one of those. So you're almost holding onto it and you're just coming down into kind of a squat position, but you're coming from side to side. Now, as we haven't got one, you may want to put your hands onto your thighs, but we're coming down into kind of a low squat and then coming back down. We're not going to hold it and sort of push it all the way straight down and up. We can do that for a strengthening exercise, but we're just thinking about moving. So come down low and then come back up. Good, come down low and back up. Last one. Good, and shake off. All right, once more, we're going to come down and back up. Time for another affirmation. My baby feels my love. Put your hands on your tummy when you do that, okay? My baby feels my love. Shake off. Okay, come down. And then back up. Shake off again. My baby feels my love. Okay, so we're going to go into some pelvic tilts. So you're going to think about tucking your tailbone underneath you so that you're really squeezing your bottom cheeks and you're drawing your baby in and up inside you. And then you're going to drop your bottom out and let your tummy drop down. Okay, so you're going to come from one to the other. Back and forth, tuck your tailbone under, squeeze your bottom, draw your bump in and up inside you. And say it again, my baby feels my love. And then drop it down again. Okay, squeeze your bottom, tuck your tailbone under, draw baby in and up inside. And then drop down. What we tend to find is a classic kind of pregnancy pose is where our bottom's disengaged, our tummy comes out, we end up hinging on our lower back, which can give you quite sore lower back pain. And when we compensate by leaning back, all right? I want to try and discourage that by engaging our bottom and drawing our core in so your bump is being held and you're still using as much as you can with your core muscles to hold your baby in strong. Sometimes you can use a belt or support to help you with that, but just I really want us to engage our muscles to do that. Okay, but when we're going through labour, we want to think about moving through the ranges as well. So really loosening off, back and forth, just to try and ease off any tension in your lower back and get baby to wheel through those pelvis and through those hips for you. Oh, good, well done. Let's go into another position now. So now we're going to come down into a like forward lean position. So you might find that through pregnancy and through labour, you want to hold on to something, you want to lean onto something. So pop your hands onto maybe a surface or a desk, and you can still do that kind of moving position from side to side, but resting your head into your hands onto a work surface, whatever feels comfortable, just going from side to side. Now, coming down into 4-point kneeling, as long as you're comfortable on your knees. preferably with a gym ball, but if you haven't got a gym ball, use something else like a chair or something, a sofa that you can put your arms onto. And onto that gym ball, you're going to lay on with your head onto the gym ball, and you're just gently going to loosen your hips from side to side. Same thing, so just let your body weight come onto it and loosen your hips from side to side. Sit down onto your heels, stretch your back off, and then come back up. So we're kind of going into, if you aren't familiar with yogi, kind of into a child's pose position, and then you're coming back up. And this is lovely for around those adductors and around that pelvic floor. If you put your feet closer together and your knees a little bit further apart, as you sit down onto your heels, you should feel a gentle stretch through your pelvic and groin area, and just come back up out of it. Push your hips forwards a little bit and come back down. Okay, this is such a nice relaxing position. You could fall asleep right now. Just coming back and forth. Now if you're on something that's fixed like a chair, you can still do this, but you're going to have your hands on the fixed chair. You're going to come down and then you're going to come back up. Okay, so you can still do it, but this is another great way of use of a gym ball, is to have that ability to sort of use it as a hug of your chest to help ease you in and out of those movements. Another great thing that you can do with a gym ball is you can come down into child's pose and take your arms to one side, and again put a little bit of weight onto the ball if you want to, and then down to the other side. So this is kind of child's pose, and if you don't have a ball, this is child's pose here, and then you do a side flexion with child's pose, and as you go to the left, you'll feel a really deep stretch down that right hand side, and that can feel so nice, particularly if you're getting really tight round by your ribs. Perhaps baby is pushing into there and you're just getting all tight underneath and on all the way down the side of your trunk. And then go the other side and feel that there too. Take a deep breath in and out. In and out. Okay, coming up into 4-point kneeling. So get rid of the ball for a second. You're going to come up into 4-point kneeling. Now, if you are somebody that suffers with carpal tunnel, like pain in your wrists, so really particularly around here where you get pins and needles and aching in your wrists, don't spend too long in this position. And if you need to lean onto your elbows, either on the floor or onto a chair, you absolutely can do. Okay, but you're going to be here so that your hands are stacked underneath your shoulders and your knees are stacked underneath your hips. You're going to come so that you tuck your tailbone underneath you, you roll your back up, you roll your shoulder blades around your rib cage, and you look between your knees. And then you're going to do the opposite, and you're just going to come into neutral. So your shoulder blades are going to squeeze together, your back is going to go flat, and your tailbone is going to stick straight out behind you, and you're just going to look in front of you. Now when you're pregnant, you don't go into the full extreme of extension, because that again stretches your tummy more than you want it to at this stage. So you're just going to come to neutral, and then you're going to come into a rounded position, and then you're going to come back into neutral again. So I want you to breathe in to prepare, and as you're in this neutral position with your back fairly flat, imagine you've got a tray of drinks onto your back. You're going to breathe in and prepare, and you're going to let your tummy drop down towards the mat. And then as you breathe out, you're going to draw your belly button and your baby in towards your spine and up towards your head. Squeeze your pelvic floor and tuck your tailbone under and look between your knees. Then you're going to breathe in to prepare and go to neutral. Let your tummy fall, but don't arch your back. Then you're going to breathe out and you're going to draw baby in and up inside you and roll her back under. Squeeze your bottom. Just go from one to the other. Now, when you are not going through labour, this can be a great exercise just to do to try and help to strengthen and engage your core. And I often show us varieties that add to this as well to help to strengthen. But during labour, it's really about keeping moving. So you're just going to gently go from one to the other and just really feel confident with moving your back and your body in whatever way feels right for you. So it's always important to practice it, hopefully, before you get there, so you can just feel what feels comfortable. And then wiggle your hips from side to side. So you're going to bring your knee towards your elbow, your waist towards your elbow on one side, and then on the other side. So it's almost like a little bit of a cat wiggle from side to side. So I'll show you front on. You are literally just wiggling your hips and your shoulders from side to side. I'm keeping my knees and my hands deliberately on the floor to start with, just to keep that contact and keep the levers around your pelvis shorter with your knees bent. And really loosening back and forth, back and forth. Lovely. Can you see if you can do some circles? So can we come all the way up, arch, come round, all the way up. And then the same in the opposite direction. You're not going to go full into extension, not dropping all the way down, but you're just rolling up, almost like a semicircle, up, across and round. Just do whatever feels right. Don't overthink it. Just gently move your pelvis, move your back, loosen off. Okay, come back into child's pose to rest off and wiggle from side to side. Come back up into 4-point kneeling. Now what you can do is just gently do whatever feels comfortable. Maybe slide one leg out. I don't want you to lift your leg at this stage because we're practicing being in labour and you're not going to start doing a Pilates strengthening routine in labour. You're just going to gently slide your leg back and forth. Okay, and then the same on the other side, because you might find you get cramp at certain periods of time and you just want to try and loosen off your legs. So you'll probably be more likely to be supported like this, and you might just take one leg out, have a bit of a wiggle, do whatever you need to do to try and ease off any cramps and tensions, and then same on the other side. Lovely. Okay, there's so much that you can do when it comes to sitting on a gym ball, but I'm just going to leave it there for now. So you can either sit on the gym ball now, or I'm going to show you a version where you are sitting on a pillow. So grab some pillows. You can prop yourself up as high as you want to go. Okay, and then bring your legs. If you're comfortable in a leg folded position, great. If you are not, just gently bring your legs out to the side. Okay, or you can have them bent. So here we are going to rock our hips from side to side again. So we're just always, you'll notice a common theme with all of these positions is that I'm not really staying still. I'm always keeping myself gently moving from side to side. And this just can be a lovely position to just gently roll from one buttock cheek onto the other. From one side onto the other. Good. Now let's see if we can do those pelvic tilts that we were doing in standing and in 4-point kneeling. We're now going to do them in sitting. So you're literally going to sit onto your sofa bones and you're going to be slumped. And you're going to come and sit back up into your posh sitting bone. And you're going to go back down into your sofa slump bone. Okay, I'm back up in my posh sitting bone. Just go from one to the other. Lovely. Okay, can we do some gentle circles in one direction and then in the other direction? And sit yourself up as high as you want to go. If you don't you feel like that's quite a lot of strain in your hip flexors, grab another pillow. You can sit a little bit higher. Okay, same thing again. Loosen up in one direction and then into the other direction. Okay, let's go into full circles now. All the way around. Oh, I can feel your back loosening off. Same in the other way. Okay, pop your hands onto your tummy. Take another deep breath in. I'm going to read us another affirmation card. So, one hand onto your upper tummy, one hand onto your lower bump. Breathe in and out. I honour my changing body. Breathe in Breathe out. I honour my changing body. Breathe in. Breathe out. I honour my changing body. Okay, repeat that one as much as you want over the next few exercises. Okay, loosening off those hips. Okay, let's maybe do a little bit of a stretch through our sides in this position. So let's take our left arm up above our heads, come down, side flex and feel a stretch through that left hand side. Oh, feels good. Come back up and then down with the right side. Really stretching off. Up. Good. Opposite side again. I'm not holding these stretches for too long. I don't want us to strain today. I want us to keep moving through them. If you feel like you want to stop and hold it for a little bit longer, feel what feels right for you. Okay, it's just important to go at your own pace. But I'm imagining that we are in labour and we want to gently keep moving as much as we've got the energy to. Oh, deep breath in and out. Okay, stay where you are for a second. I'm going to talk you through a sideline position, but we're not going to stay in this position today. I've got one of these pillows which I bought from a trusted online source, and I would recommend these could be a great source to help you to prop yourself up into a bit more of an upright sitting position, or lying position I should say, but they're also really nice for sideline positions in bed, and if you are finding that you're in a sidelining position through labour, sometimes it's more comfortable to have a wedge cushion than it is to have somebody trying to prop up and hold your leg. So I'm just going to demonstrate that now, but I appreciate that you guys might not have one of those yet, so we won't spend too long in this position. But when you're laying onto your side, you can use one of these wedge cushions just to hold your knees apart and to support your leg up. So you can move it wherever you feel comfortable, however you want to, but it just helps to open up your hips, open up your pelvic floor, for birthing, but lifting your knees apart and feeling like your leg's supported, because the most important thing is that the weight of your leg is taken so that you don't have to hold it there, because if you have to hold it there, you're really going to end up using your adductors. It's going to get quite tiring, and then you're going to almost be counterintuitively fighting against the fact that you're trying to relax to let everything happen, because you're having to also fatigue from cramp from holding your leg. So having something there that really supports and holds your legs gaps, so that if the midwife or anyone needs to have a look down there, they can do. So in this position as well, and if you are in a comfortable side lying position, definitely practice this. You're gently going to tilt your pelvis back and forth, just like we did in standing. You're going to see a pattern coming on here. We've done it in standing now. We've done it in leaning forward onto either the work surface or onto the birthing ball. We've done it in 4-point kneeling. We've done it in sitting, and now we're doing it in side lying. Same thing applies. We are gently rocking from side to side. Okay, feel free to pause the video, get yourself into a position like this and practice. But I'm going to take us into our final position, which is on our backs now. So whenever you're moving from one position to another, you really want to think about making sure that you're not flinging your abdominals and using your tummy muscles too much. So if you're laying onto your back from the sideline position, you want to really think about taking your hands behind you to support. You're going to put both feet onto the floor, push your bottom up into like a bridge position, and then come onto your back. Now, I've done that, but you might find that depending on how far through your pregnancy are, you can't lay completely flat on your back. So just rolling back onto your sides, coming up into a side sitting position, and I've deliberately rolled onto my side so not to do a sit up, coming up onto the side and into a sitting position. So let's get ourselves ready and comfortable for laying on our backs. So I'm going to use this wedge cushion. Now, depending on how far you are during pregnancy, you may not want to completely lie flat. So wedge yourself up with some cushions. I have got one of these really oversized V-shaped cushions, which is absolutely gorgeous and comfortable, but your partner probably won't thank you too much because they will soon lose their position in their bed. So you're going to set this up nicely and comfortable in this position. Have another pillow to hand because sometimes you want to have it either between your knees or underneath your hips. Now I'm going to use the birthing ball again, but you can use a chair or stack some cushions up to put your knees on. So you're going to have it laid down onto your back, and then you're going to pop your knees and your legs onto the birthing ball. And similar thing again, we are just gently going to tilt our pelvis back and forth into this position. Tuck your tailbone under and flatten your back, and then arch your back over. Tuck it under and then arch your back over. Now let's go back and forth from a pelvic tilt point of view, back and forth, loosening off your lower back. Then I want you to take your feet a little bit so that just your foot's on the ball, and you're going to bring your knees up towards you. Take your knees slightly to the side so you make room for the bump. Feel the stretch through your adductors and all through your pelvic area. And then you're going to push the ball away. Breathe in. Breathe out. Relax your shoulders. Another affirmation for you. I breathe in confidence. I exhale fear. Let go of any tension you're holding in your shoulders. I breathe in confidence. I exhale fear. Let's see if we can do that with leg movement. So straighten your legs on I breathe in confidence. Let your tummy rise towards the ceiling. Exhale fear. Bring your knees up towards your chest and flatten your back. Roll your back and flatten it against the floor. I breathe in confidence, lengthen. I exhale fear, bend your knees. I breathe in confidence. I exhale fear. One more. I breathe in confidence. I exhale fear. Keep going with the ball if you've got one. If you haven't, I'm just going to show you how you might do it without. So similar thing again. Keep your feet on the floor, but lengthen. I breathe in confidence. I exhale fear. And you can hug your knees up to your chest a little bit. And then let them come back down. I breathe in confidence. Pop your feet onto the floor, hands onto your thighs. I exhale fear, hug your knees up if you're comfortable doing them both together. Or you might want to do one at a time. Really take your leg to the side so you make room for your bump. And same on the opposite side. I breathe in confidence. I exhale fear. Breathe in. Let your tummy rise on the breath in. Breathe out. Bring the knee up. Good. Now, get rid of the ball if you've got it there. Pop the pillow between your knees so that your hips are, your knees are about hip width apart, okay? And you feel supported with that pillow between your knees. You're just gently going to roll your knees from side to side, okay? And just as much as you feel comfortable, but you're wiggling your hips from side to side. Often we can find that perhaps we have to stay on our back for whatever reason, and if you are able to still move your legs, this can be a really gentle way just to keep loosening your lower back and helping baby come through the lower back and pelvis just by keeping on gently rocking from side to side. Okay, and if you want to give a bit more of a stretch, take your arms out to the side, bring your palms to face the ceiling, gently roll your knees from one side, feel a little bit of a stretch in your lower back, and then go on to the opposite side. Go from one all the way up and over to the opposite side. I love that. Okay. Keep going, just whatever feels comfortable. Final position is just going to be a resting position. So can you grab the ball? Can you pop your legs onto it? If you want to, prop the pillow now underneath your hips. Okay. And just let your legs rest onto that, onto the ball. And if you haven't got a ball, this is the time to prop your legs up onto the sofa or onto a chair, or stack a load of cushions up. Okay. You're going to gently, using your hands, just massage the inner thighs. Okay, so you're just doing gentle sweeping motions down towards your groin, come up your quads and down towards your groin again. And sometimes we can get so tight into our adductors, so just gently, using your sort of scoop of your hand, gently massage back and forth to loosen off any tension that you might be holding through there. This is a particularly lovely thing to do after you've had a nice warm bath or a shower, just to really ease off and massage those legs when they're nice and warm as well. Okay, pop your hands onto your tummy, take a deep breath in and fill your belly up. Connect with your bump, come back down. Stay where you are, make sure you're really super comfortable. I am stronger than I think. I am stronger than I think. You absolutely are. You are stronger than you think. Your body is capable of birthing this baby. I can do this. Oh, ladies, I really hope that class today has given you some options for moving during labour. You can find the positions that work for you. Not every position that I've gone through tonight is going to feel comfortable, and that is absolutely okay. Different positions are going to feel differently to you at different stages during your labour, during your pregnancy, depending on what's going on. But the real goal and aim of today's session was to show you a variety of positions that you can get yourself into. So if you want to stay where you are, if you're comfortable, please feel free to stay exactly where you are right now. When you are ready to set up, I want you to take both feet onto the floor, lift your bottom up slightly to remove the cushion underneath you, bring your bottom to the right hand side, take your knees to the left, try and keep them in line with your hips so you're not crossing your knees over midline. You're going to bring yourself up onto your left elbow, push onto your right arm into a sitting position to then get yourself up. I really hope you enjoyed that. Let us know in the comments below what you thought, and if you found it helpful, do feel free to share it with another mama. And hopefully we'll see you with Fly Mamas again soon. Bye everyone.